Hi everyone, do you still remember me? I'm Bianca, who told you the story of me and my conjoined twin sister Emily before. First of all, I would like to sincerely thank you for the wishes and prayers that you have given to me before the surgery. As you can see, the surgery to separate me from my half-sister Emily has been successfully implemented, and now, even though I'm only a half-human with an arm and a leg, I'm still happy and healthy. Thank you very much once again. After more than 20 hours of surgery to separate me from Emily's body, it took me many months to fully recover and be able to continue my life. Of course, I had a lot of difficulties in my daily activities because I was used to having Emily control the other half of my body. Now I can't drive on my own because there's only one hand and one leg left. I had to switch to public transport like buses and trains. My parents and relatives also sometimes drove me to farther destinations when needed. I can't cook complicated dishes that require some skills with both hands, so I often have to order food delivered to my home or have my family cook and send it to me. My life is now connected to a wheelchair, even when I take a shower. For normal people, suddenly losing a part of their body might be too difficult. However, as for me, even though I lost more than that, I had been used to control only half of my body. So after a few months of learning and adapting, everything finally became normal to me. My teaching career at primary school has been reserved, and I am allowed to return to work whenever possible. The day I returned to school, I was worried about people's curious looks and evaluation of my new appearance after the surgery. More than that, I was scared of all the questions relating to Emily. Even the words of consolation could cut deeper into my pain about the fact that Emily was no longer with me. But my colleagues at school were very delicate and sympathetic to me. They held a small party to welcome me back. The principal personally congratulated and assigned 2 other teachers to support me whenever I needed. I was deeply touched by everyone's love and was more motivated to continue teaching, even though from then on I had to do everything by myself without Emily supporting me like the day before. My students were the highlight of everything. I believe the principal had arranged for me to teach a special class with the best students possible to avoid me having to answer weird questions about my appearance. The students in my class were very well behaved, polite, and studious. Many of my young students were so eager to study that they stayed behind to ask me whichever parts they didn't fully understand in class or textbooks, which caught me by surprise. I wonder if someone has arranged all this for me to feel more welcome. I didn't want to be pitied by anyone, but the innocence of my little students has immediately cleared my doubtful thoughts. Among all the little ones, there was a very pretty girl named Brittany. Brittany was innocent and pure as a ray of sunshine early in the morning. She often said naive but sweet things that make the listener's heart melt. One day after school, Brittany lingered last to wait to see me. I thought she had something to ask about the lesson like everyone else. But no, Brittany approached me with a shy smile. Responding to my inquisitive gaze, she quickly placed a freshly plucked daisy on the table and said it was a gift for me. I was extremely surprised. Before I could say a word, Brittany said, "You rock, do you know that? You gave me hope to live better every day." After saying that, the girl hurriedly ran away, leaving me unable to say thanks. That night, I came home very happy because of the gift of the adorable student. But I was still curious about Brittany's statement. I called Brittany's home phone, hoping to talk to her mother. Brittany's mother was a warm woman. She told me that Brittany had congenital heart disease and was in a very weak condition. She did not feel motivated to go to school because she was often shunned by her friends, sometimes even bullied. Things only changed when she learned about me and Emily's story and later transferred to my class. Brittany's mother said that since then, every day when she went home from school, she was eager to do her homework and eat more moderately. Because Miss Bianca had done miracles in such a difficult situation, then there was nothing she couldn't overcome. My God, can you imagine how my heart was melting when I heard that? It was from that moment that the dream of going around the world to inspire people through presentations that Emily and I had when she was alive was awakened. I have never forgotten our dream, but the health condition after surgery didn't allow me to start doing anything that was too much for my strength. But after hearing about my influence on little Brittany, I was motivated to not delay. So, with my inspirational story and my ability to speak in public, I started to build my accounts on social networking websites in a more active way. Every day, I posted motivational content in writing and video, telling what had happened to me personally and Emily, what I was currently doing after that life threatening surgery, and my projects in the future, too. The number of followers and subscribers to my accounts increased day by day. They said my story inspired their life and taught them how lucky they were to simply be born a normal person. Fans also sent letters and gifts to my home address to show their affection. I don't think they understand that they were the ones who gave me motivations to continue living after Emily died. My efforts paid off when the content I posted caught the eye of the press and the media. Big news websites all wanted to schedule interviews and write about me. I had to pick out reputable sites to be able to convey the most meaningful message that I wanted to send to the public. Famous talk shows and seminars also invited me to participate as guests. I have lived in the dream that I and Emily had always dreamed of. Not becoming famous or making tons of money, but to inspire people to live happily. And it was at one of the seminars I was invited to that I met Alex, my destined husband. At the time we met, I was 31 years old, 2 years after the surgery that separated me from Emily. The reason why Alex is the destiny of my life was that he is also a case of conjoined twins that were separated successfully. Alex and his twin brother were conjoined at the head, something that is only seen in 1 out of every 2.5 million live births. The surgery to separate Alex and his brother, at the time they were 16 months old, took 27 hours to be done. Different from my case, after surgery, Alex still had 2 arms and 2 legs as normal people. Only his head looks a bit deformed, but overall, Alex is still attractive. I had a crush on Alex the first time we met each other's eyes at that seminar, but I was so embarrassed and ashamed about my appearance that I blushed and quickly looked away. We talked a lot about our stories that day, but I didn't have enough courage to look Alex in the eyes because I was afraid. Yet, to my surprise, at the end of the conversation that day, Alex took the initiative to approach me and ask for my contact. He said he was impressed with my story and was very interested in my personality. He wanted to learn more about me. Oh, needless to say how happy I was. My hand was shaking so much that I dropped my business card when I handed it to Alex. Thanks to that initiative of Alex, we kept in touch many months later. We called each other 3 times a week, frequently mentioning each other in our posts on social networks. The emails and messages we sent to each other shifted from business content and social inquiry to more personal information. We were both curious about each other and wanted to know everything that happened in each other's day. After 2 months of keeping in touch via text message like that, we went out for a date for the first time at a restaurant near my place. Alex was thoughtful and caring enough to understand how difficult it was for me to travel far, so he came to pick me up and chose a restaurant near my house so I wouldn't have any problems. We had our first kiss in front of my place after that date. Alex and I officially become partners in both life and work. Since our official dating, we have appeared together in meetings with the press and media. The amount of inspiration we hope to give our audience has doubled. The public loved us and called us destined twins, and everyone seemed to burst into happiness when we announced the news about our engagement and wedding. We had the happiest ending possible for conjoined twins. Like famous stars, we'd never felt we have a normal life because we always felt overly concerned by the public. But Alex and I found that empathy in each other. We share the same story and now share our lives. Alex is my half-lost since Emily died, and I thank God every day for bringing him to me. But now, a while after getting married, We are facing one more important decision of life, and we need advice from you guys, our adoring fans. I have been pregnant for nearly 2 months. It is an unbelievable piece of good news for someone who has only half her body left like me. But after the examination, the doctor concluded that I was pregnant not only with 1 or 2 babies, but triplets. What even more shocking was that after a thorough examination, the doctor warned me and Alex that with the mutant gene in our bodies, the possibility of the 3 children being conjoined is very big. The right to decide the fate of those children is entirely in our hands because, at this time of pregnancy, abortion is not too dangerous. What should Alex and I do, guys? If you've supported us from the beginning till now, please give me more advice.